Time for us to get into a very important conversation. Before we do that, though, there's a couple of birthday messages that I want to read out here. This one says, "Happy birthday in advance to ASP Alfred Niade. May the good Lord perfect all that concerns you and have a fabulous one." Now, another birthday message. This goes to our very own songstress. Amazing songwriter, also a judge on Citi TV's Voice Factory, season 5. And this is Abiana. Yes, Abiana, it's your birthday today. And she has an upcoming concert on the 24th called The Taste of Africa. It's going to be at the Alliance Française. And of course, we're going to be partnering here on that as well. So Abiana, happy birthday. God bless you. Now, it's time for us to get into the conversation.
Yes, so the conversation is actually about the Diabetes Awareness Month. We've been talking everything diabetes, and it's right for us to actually end the week. Still
having this conversation.
Having conversations about diabetes. So today we're going to be, looking at diabetes, and joining us is Dr. Kelvin Kwarteng, a practitioner at Endpoint Homeopathic Clinic.
Yes.
Hi, Doc.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
So, Doc, we were just discussing a little bit earlier.
Sure.
I just quickly want to pick your thoughts on the conversation that we were having about this whole dating thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I feel in my opinion. So that I don't offend anybody. So in my opinion, I feel dating actually lasts longer than marriage.
Now,
why?
Today.
Yes, exactly.
Why?
So the first thing that I would say is expectations.
Okay.
So if we are unable to manage our expectations, so whatever expectation you had during dating, when you send that same expectation into marriage, you might be disappointed. And a lot of people are getting disappointed in their marriages. That is why they are leaving the marriage. Aside that, we were talking about something backstage that I feel that we should go to the old ways of doing things.
Where they choose your husband for you. This one.
Well,
marry Amma when she grows up.
Yeah, my focus is on respect. On respect. Men demand respect.
Require.
Okay. Well, let me use require. And it's even in the Bible that the men are supposed to love their spouses, and their spouses are in turn supposed to be submissive. And nowadays we are not seeing that. Honestly, we are not seeing that in marriages. Men are failing to love their wives, and the wives in turn are failing to be submissive to their husbands. So when this happens, definitely the marriage wouldn't last. Our upbringings are also a major part. How well you were brought up from your home. Myself, I saw my mom and dad being married for so long.
Exactly.
Yes, my mom is 80 years, my dad 84.
And they're still in love.
Exactly, so they are still
married.
There. So you've seen this growing up. It is embedded in your mind that there is no way you would leave the marriage. So whatever the problem is, make it work.
Figure it out, because there's always a solution.
Whatever it is, make it work. Understand your wife or your husband. Exactly. So I feel a lot of marriages are breaking up because of these. They might be petty, but they are very
petty.
No, but it's the little things that destroy, right?
Exactly.
They're not petty.
Exactly.
I don't think they're petty at all.
Okay.
And I think you're right. So we'll just pray for them, and those that are not married yet, take suit, listen, and just practice.
Because I have a bit of experience. I might be young, but I have. We dated for like 9 years before getting married. And I've been married for 7 years.
Wow.
So,
yes.
You're a pro.
Yes, I am. So,
well done. Congratulations also to your wife. Because,
thank you.
Yeah, because it takes two.
Yeah.
And,
Sure.
Fantastic.
Well done.
All right, so Doc, let's get right into this conversation about diabetes. What is diabetes, first of all? And I mean, from my background, I already understand that there are 2 types of diabetes. So talk to us about what we
all right. So let me start by saying I appreciate the opportunity given. I've been watching you guys.
I see.
Exactly. I monitor the program. So
thank you.
It's good. It's good to be here. And we are marking Diabetes Awareness Month. So it's only prudent that we actually talk about diabetes, to create the awareness, because diabetes is becoming a menace in the society. There are certain statistics that actually show that by the end of 2025, there might be at least one person who has diabetes in every family in Ghana.
Whoa.
Exactly.
In Ghana?
Exactly.
Whoa.
So that is how serious the condition
Serious.
is. Yes. At least one person in every family having diabetes.
Eesh.
Yes.
In just 2 years' time,
Exactly.
or less.
Exactly. So there is the need for the awareness. People need to be self-conscious of their health. People need to know what diabetes is, its effects and complications, so that they will know how to, go about their lives. So,
I know it's a lifestyle disease.
it is.
Why is it that, what has happened to our lifestyle
Okay.
that is making it more serious at this point in time?
Okay. So let me start by saying diabetes is a glucose metabolic syndrome.
Okay.
So glucose is the sugar that we know, and that is the body's fuel. So as we put diesel, petrol in our cars to enable the cars to actually work, the body also needs glucose.
It's kind of, well, yeah.
The brain needs glucose. So I'm talking because my body is utilizing glucose, in order for me to gain energy. And we get this glucose from the food that we eat, especially the carbohydrates. So the wache that we eat, the fufu, the bangkun, the bread, and all the stuff that we eat. After the food is broken down into the glucose enters the bloodstream. And the blood actually carries the glucose to the cells, because the glucose is not supposed to be in the blood.
Stay in the blood.
Exactly. It wouldn't do anything. It's useless in the blood. So it has to get into the cells where it is utilized for energy. And there is one thing, or one compound or hormone that actually acts as a key and opens the cells to the glucose, or for the glucose to enter. And that key is called insulin. Insulin is usually produced by the pancreas. Exactly. It's an organ in the body, the pancreas. So when you have issues with your pancreas, so firstly, your pancreas might not be producing insulin at all. So that is the type 1 diabetes. For people who have type 1 diabetes, their pancreas is not producing insulin at all. So that one is caused by an autoimmune condition. So our own antibodies attacking the pancreas, destroying the pancreas, and preventing it from producing insulin. So once insulin is not produced, the door is locked. No key to open the door. So the sugar or the glucose remains in the blood. And as such, your blood sugar level goes up. So when you test, they will tell you that you have diabetes. So there is the type 2 also, where the pancreas is producing a bit of insulin, but the insulin is not enough to act on the glucose. Or there is another scenario where the pancreas is producing a lot of insulin, even more than the body actually needs.
Oh, I see.
But there is resistance by the cells. Exactly. So the cells are not opening up for the glucose to enter, because they are resisting the insulin. So we have two scenarios in the type 2 diabetes. It's either you are not producing enough, or you produce enough, but the body is resisting the insulin produced. So all the symptoms associated with diabetes are actually as a result of high glucose level. So the glucose getting stuck in the blood. You made mention of lifestyle. So the type 2 diabetes is actually brought about mainly by our lifestyle. So the alcohol that we take excessively, the smoking, our sedentary lifestyle that we are living, you not exercising, you eating more than what your body actually needs. So there should be a balance between what you ingest and what's the energy you expend. So if you are someone who works in an office, you sit for the whole day, the entire day, you get into your car, you go to your house, and the cycle continues. You can't eat the same food as someone, sorry to say, a laborer who actually works by digging and all that. So your food would be different. So if you, that person seated in an office setting, eating the food that someone outside doing manual work eats, then you are going to keep lots of glucose in the body. You're not going to expend the energy. So you're going to get bigger. Obesity, it is one of the factors of acquiring type 2 diabetes. So alcohol intake, smoking, obesity, inactive lifestyle, sedentary lifestyle, and also there is a hereditary factor as well. So once you have it running through your family, you are more at risk, you run at a higher risk of getting diabetes. So someone who has just one parent having diabetes, And as compared to another who has both parents having diabetes, the one with both parents is at a higher risk as compared to the one with
the one with both parents, what are they supposed to do now?
Exactly. So once you get to know that you have either one or more of the risk factors, then you watch your lifestyle. So you watch how you go about your daily activities. So for example, you should exercise. If you are someone in the corporate setting where you don't exercise a lot, find a place safe, 30 minutes to or 15 minutes to your workplace. Park your car, walk to your workplace. Then when you close, walk back to your car and you drive. So that is a form of exercise. Normally we recommend 30 minutes of exercise a day for diabetics or people who want to avoid having diabetes. So if you have all the risk factors, you don't eat late. You shouldn't eat late. You shouldn't eat too much fatty foods. You shouldn't eat more than you are supposed to, actually. And apart from that, don't take alcohol, don't smoke, exercise a lot, physical activity. That is very important.
I'm going to do something that is very controversial in our Ghanaian culinary space,
Okay.
as far as men especially are concerned.
Okay.
I understand that the stomach is about this size.
Okay.
The human stomach is about this size. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Which means that if you eat anything that's beyond the volume of this, you are overeating. True or false?
Well, one thing is,
I'm saying this because of the cameramen behind the cameras today.
Okay.
Mashada.
But I would say it's not entirely true. You know, the stomach, it's a muscle. It's a muscular. Exactly. So it stretches. Exactly. So whatever food you put in the stomach, it would be able to accommodate.
Yes.
So till the level that you feel satisfied. So that is when you should stop. Okay. So there are senses in the body that signals you when you should stop eating.
But it's like some people's
but
senses does not work.
But wait, the stomach is this size. There's a reason why God made it only this size.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
If you now extend beyond the size of your stomach, of course your stomach will stretch and it can handle it, right?
Yes.
But
you
are you not now consuming more than you should?
Yes, exactly. You are. You actually consuming.
That's why I said the
enough.
senses that tells them that it's their food.
It's not working.
So probably their senses are not working.
The senses are switched off.
Because you can clearly see that this is too much.
Yeah. And you know there are people who actually enjoy eating. They naturally they enjoy eating.
Food. Yeah.
Whether they are hungry or not, they would put in something.
But that's not enjoy. That's gluttony.
Yes. So it is.
But gluten is comes from enjoyment.
Exactly.
No, because I feel like
it's a love of it.
You know, but if you say people that enjoy eating, someone like me, foodie, like I enjoy food.
Food, yes.
Yeah, I enjoy. Like,
but that's different from enjoying eating.
They find pleasure. In eating.
Okay.
Just like others find pleasure in alcoholism, others find pleasure in other stuff. Yeah. Yes, there are people who actually enjoy eating. Yeah. So no matter the time, yes, they eat.
But it's a sin.
Yeah, it is. It is. I think so.
Big sin. It's in the Bible. It's a sin.
Biblical, yes.
So talk to us, Doc, about somebody says, okay, I have diabetes in our family, but how do I know when I have diabetes? Okay. What are the symptoms?
A very good question. Thank you for that. One thing about diabetes and hypertension, they go hand in hand. They are silent killers. So one thing is that they wouldn't give you any signal.
Okay. Wow.
Exactly. In minor instances, they give signals, but majorly they don't give signals that you have diabetes. So the only way for you to know is for you to go and check, monitor your blood glucose level, and it's very easy to do that. Nowadays, it's very accessible. You can just walk into a pharmacy nearby and check your blood glucose. But if you are getting symptoms, the first symptom you get is that you're going to urinate frequently. Okay. And the volume of urine that you are going to produce will be that much. Okay. So you're going to urinate frequently, and usually they urinate at night. So that is as a result of the sugar being high and the body trying to get rid of the sugar. So it pushes some of the sugar or glucose through the kidneys. That is one way of getting rid of waste products. So as the kidneys are excreting the sugar, solutes in simple chemistry. Wherever sugar or salt goes, water also follows. So water would be drawn towards the sugar. So a lot of or large quantities of urine is produced.
So would you say your body retains water?
It actually gets rid of the water. Exactly. And by so doing, it will make you thirsty. So another symptom is frequent thirst. So people living with diabetes, they often drink water. They
just drank a lot of water, but not very long after you're starting to feel
thirsty. Then you still feel thirsty. Your throat becomes dry. You would have to take in lots and lots of water. So one thing that you would notice is that previously you were not having these. Then suddenly you began to take in more than enough water. Then aside that, the sugar is in the blood. It's not getting into the cells. The brain would not get enough glucose to function. So the only way the brain would tell your body is to signal you that you are hungry. So that you eat. Then the body turns the food into glucose again. It will still remain in the blood. So the body will still signal you to be eating. So people living with diabetes, they get hungry often. So they eat within a short period of time, they get hungry. So you eat. So those are the triad of symptoms. The frequent urination in large quantities, the frequent thirst, and the frequent hunger.
In large quantities?
Yes. So they urinate in large quantities. The volume of the urine is high.
And once you're urinating, it's dehydrating.
Exactly, so you're going to get
you have to
thirsty.
also drink water.
Yes. Then aside that, there's blurriness of the vision. So your vision becomes blurred because sugar is also being pushed through
into your eye.
Exactly, into your eye. It affects the eye lens. It destroys the transparency of the eye lens and all that.
Is that what causes glaucoma?
Exactly. So we have retinopathy, we have glaucoma, we also have eye cataract. So all these are caused by diabetes. Then usually when you have a wound, you know how short it takes to heal. But with diabetics, wound healing is a problem. It takes longer for their wounds to heal. And that is why there are people who get leg amputations as a result of diabetes. And quite recently, I think Mr. Ibu, the Nigerian actor, his leg was amputated. So what happens is diabetes, when the glucose stays in the blood vessels, they destroy the blood vessels, and they prevent enough blood from getting to places they are supposed to get to. And blood, we know that blood contains antibodies, contain white blood cells that fight off infections when there is a wound. So if the blood is being prevented from getting to the site of the cut, then these antibodies are not going to help in wound healing. And in diabetics too, their nerves are destroyed, so they tend to lose sensations.
They don't really feel a lot of things.
So there are people who even just the shoe that they wear, the shoe,
it can come off, they don't even know,
and they wouldn't know.
It can come up from the leg, they don't even know.
They've lost sensation,
and they're just walking.
And some even get injuries from the shoes that they wear. No, the shoe fits very tightly, but because he's not having any sensation, he doesn't feel it. Exactly. So by the time he takes off the shoe, he'll see that there are bruises. And these bruises will fail to heal. Then gradually it would actually advance.
So you talked about obesity. All right. And now when it comes to BMI, right? Measuring our BMI. Our BMI can see me like this. Everybody would think, oh, you're all right. But my BMI tells me I'm overweight. So do we consider the BMI when we are checking our weight?
Yes.
Should we consider it?
Exactly, it needs to be considered. So you just can't use your weight in determining whether you are obese or not. So it's the weight in relation to your height. That is how the BMI is calculated. So it's a weight over height squared. So usually myself, I weigh around 90 kg, but I'm quite tall. So when I check my BMI, I fall within the normal values. Someone who weighs 90 kg in normal settings, that person might be overweight. But because I'm very tall, so it compensates for the weight. It doesn't mean that if you are 90 kg, you should maintain the 90 or you should reduce it. But BMI is very helpful in determining obesity,
I'm
overweight.
actually.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay, then I think you should take measures.
No, but I think it's also muscle mass because I work out a lot.
Because I was going to ask you about that.
The muscle mass.
Because
again, muscle and fat.
Yes.
Yes, I have a lot of muscle.
Oh, okay. Okay.
We're trying to, when we talk about overweight, we're trying to reduce fat, not necessarily muscle.
Not necessarily muscle. Exactly. Because it's the fat that could actually predispose you into getting type 2 diabetes. Actually, in type 2 diabetes, the insulin resistance is caused by the fat. Exactly, blocking the receptors that actually accept the insulin.
Right.
So muscle mass is good. We are just trying to create awareness about the fat. Exactly. So try and exercise.
So you should burn more fat.
Increase your muscle mass, reduce the fat content.
And the nice thing about it is that the more muscle you have, actually, the faster you burn fat.
Exactly.
So, which is really good. Which is really good. Okay, so finally, talk to us about treatment.
Okay.
And then, is it possible to also reverse diabetes once you have it?
Okay. So with the treatment, we have the orthodox way, but I will speak about the homeopathic way. So at endpoint, when you come, we assess you, we test you and all that, and we find out that you have diabetes, or we diagnose you. And one thing is, you don't just diagnose on the first instance or the first visit. Diabetes is not diagnosed on only one checkup. You would have to check the glucose level consistently for say 2 or 3 on 2 or 3 occasions.
So if it's the same result, then you know, this person
so diabetes is persistent high blood glucose level, so not just on one day. So when you come and we check and we find out that you have diabetes, the first thing that we do is that we will do further tests to see how the diabetes is affecting your system. Because diabetes is a multiple organ condition. It affects a lot of organs in the body. It is probably the only condition that can affect from the head to the toe.
Wow.
Because it affects the blood vessels. So wherever blood goes, diabetes could affect it. So we assess all these areas, the kidneys, the eye, the nerves, the skin, the liver, and all that, to see if everything is fine. Then we can begin treatment. And without treatment, it is safe, it is very affordable, and also it's very effective. So those are the 3 basic things that we base on. Then we will give you medications. If you are on orthodox medications, there is a way for us to wean you off the orthodox medications. Because there are some people who come to our setting and they expect us to immediately take them off the orthodox medications. No. They are medications you've been on for quite a while. So once we take you off abruptly, it could arise, complications could arise. So we wean you off. We tell you to lower the dosage, then you add hours to it. We go through certain lifestyle modifications, dietary counseling and all that. So we do all these, then we wean you off the orthodox, then you'll be on our medications. So our medications they're actually trying to correct the underlying cause. In homeopathy, we treat underlying causes of conditions. We don't do symptomatic treatment. So you present with a headache. We have to find out why you are having the headache. Exactly. What is actually causing the headache? We don't just prescribe something to take care of the headache. For example, if you have high blood pressure, one of the symptoms is headache. So when you come and we don't delve into this and we just prescribe something for the headache, you'll be walking around with high blood pressure and one day you'll die. So at endpoints, what we do is that we find out the underlying cause of the condition. So what brought about your diabetes? Then we solve that underlying cause and definitely you're going to be okay. And to your question whether diabetes can be reversed, you're asking if it could be reversed. So we all have glucose in our blood. You can't exist without glucose. So when yours exceeds the normal level, we say that you have diabetes. So what in treatment, the goal is to bring the sugar level back to the normal level. You can't eradicate sugar from the blood. The person will die. Exactly. So we tend to reduce or lower the blood sugar level to the normal level. And the aim of treatment is for you not to be on medications anymore, so that you can manage the condition with lifestyle and your diet. So that is the basic thing. So there comes a time where you're not going to take medications anymore. You're going to be on the lifestyle changes. You're going to be on a certain prescribed diet. And you're going to be okay. Your sugar levels wouldn't go up anymore. Yes.
Wow. Yeah. Okay, so you mentioned that you're from Endpoint.
Endpoint, exactly.
Tell us a little bit where is Endpoint? Where can you be found? What are some of the services that you do?
All right. So Endpoint, we are our headquarters is at Spentex. Okay. So on the Spentex Road, there's a place called Shell Signboard. So once you get to Shell Signboard, you see Endpoint. So that is where we are. And our number, if I could put across the number. Yes, you could call. We are running a free fertility screening for women, women who are trying to get pregnant, women who are finding it very difficult to get pregnant. Apart from that, women who are having menstrual issues, so having challenges with their menstrual cycles, women who have multiple or recurrent infections. We are doing the free screening for them. So you will come, we will take a pelvic scan, which is free of charge. Usually, it's quite expensive outside, pelvic scans. I think you might pay around 250 or 300 cedis for that. But we are offering that for free. Okay. Then after we are done with the scan, we will find out why you are having that condition that the scan revealed. So we do a lab which costs 200 cedis. Okay. Then for men, we are not leaving you, so we are doing a prostate scan for men.
Thank you.
So prostate, we all need to check our prostates as men. You don't need to get to a certain age before you have a condition with your prostate. Before we thought that usually it's the elderly that get issues with prostate. But there is a prostate disorder called prostatitis, inflammation of the prostate. And that comes once you are sexually active. So even at age 15, if you are sexually active, you could get this prostatitis. Okay. So once you are sexually active, make sure you come, you check your prostate, which is free. We are not going to charge you for anything. It's just that the card that you take, which is 50 cedis. Then we screen your prostate, get to know what the problem is. Then we'll treat. We are also offering free kidney disease screening. Okay. So whatever kidney condition that you have, you can come around, we'll screen. And kidney conditions also don't give signals. But by the time you know, it will be at the end stage. Late. So you should come around, do this free kidney screening, get to know the status of your kidney, then you would know how to go about your life. So our number is 0244 867068. Okay. 0244 867068. So we are open from weekdays, Mondays to Fridays, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and on Saturdays from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Okay. We also work on holidays and all that. It's only Sundays that we don't work. Yes, please.
Right. Fantastic. Doctor, we really, really appreciate this. We've been speaking with Dr. Kelvin Kwarteng. It looks like all our favorite doctors are also called Kelvin.
Yeah. Welcome to the Kelvin Club.
Thank you. Thank you.